First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your first alert forecast. 19 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
We continue to follow breaking news. A gas leak leads to the evacuation of a couple of buildings on the Cleveland Clinic main campus. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brian Duffy.
And I'm Nicole Versansky. So our crews were immediately sent to that scene. Isabella Roberts joining us live with an update. So Isabella, what is the latest from the Cleveland Clinic?
Yeah, Brian and Nicole, the Cleveland Clinic just confirmed with me that the gas leak has been temporarily capped. If you take a look behind me, you can see there are still a few Enbridge trucks here. Around 1:30 p.m. today, the Cleveland Clinic was notified of a gas leak. There is ongoing construction here on Carnegie and East 89th for this new Cleveland Clinic building. Construction crews punctured a 4-inch gas line, and that was when they made the decision out of an abundance of caution to evacuate the construction crews working in that building, as well as the cafeteria of the Cleveland Clinic. I spoke to a couple of construction workers who didn't want to go on camera, but they told me they were waiting around to get their belongings out of the building, and that as soon as they got the call, they rushed outside. Now, East 89th and Cedar was closed, but that road is now reopened and traffic can kind of go through there. So that is what we know, that there was that gas leak. There are Enbridge trucks still on site, but people are allowed back in the cafeteria. Construction crews have gone inside to retrieve their belongings, and that is the update right now in Cleveland. Isabella Roberts, 19 News.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
Well, after last night's storm damage, we are watching very closely for the risk of another round of dangerous weather.
It has been another hot and humid day, and we could see some stronger storms moving in. The 19 First Alert weather team, as always, is all over it. So the question is, when is the biggest risk?
19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page here now as they've been watching this, tracking it all day.
Yeah, I really think for the most part, this risk for storms is largely over, at least for the severe potential for us that we saw earlier this afternoon. We may get a couple more stray showers and a couple rumbles of thunder headed into tonight. I am not overly impressed with any severe parameters associated with that. Instead, it's just warm. It's a little humid out there. And so if you are planning on being outside, just kind of keep that in mind here as we go through the rest of this evening. We do have some changes on the way headed into the weekend. That does include a cold front. So yes, some cooler temperatures are on the horizon if you are not quite as much a fan of a lot of this higher heat and humidity. But things are very quiet here across Northeast Ohio. Again, we had some of those showers earlier today. Those have all cleared off towards our east. We don't even have any rain and thunderstorms in our viewing area proper, so things are really starting to kind of enter into this quieter period here. We still have that severe thunderstorm watch in effect for a couple of our counties, but again, not really expecting that to last too much longer. This is what we're watching off to our west. So you can see along the line of storms from basically Chicago down along that Indiana state line. That is what we are going to watch. Not necessarily because I expect those storms to hold together super well, but we could see the boundary eventually head our direction. But again, this severe thunderstorm watch in effect for a couple of our counties, I would imagine is going to be allowed to expire pretty early here. We'll walk you through that new data coming up.
All right, Erica, thank you. And be sure to have our 19 First Alert weather app downloaded tonight. Just scan this QR code. Once weather hits where you are, you're going to get that first alert. You'll be able to track that live radar right to your street. Plus, you'll get push alerts for your exact location.
Powerful storm tears through Amherst, damaging homes, knocking out power citywide, and even hitting a local business. Now, of course, cleanup is underway. It's the people who live there and the crews there work to put the pieces all back together. First at 4, Brittany Weir is live in one of the hardest hit neighborhoods. Brittany, what have you seen there today?
Brian, I want to show you the damage that's right here at the corner of Cleveland Avenue and Woodhill Drive. Take a look over here. There is a massive tree that has come down in the front yard of this home, just up by the roots and then falling into another tree, taking out power lines. And this is the sights we are seeing all around the neighborhoods here in Amherst, especially big tree limbs like this one covering the sidewalks and the roads. This is a pretty tall one here, but it's not just the neighborhoods, the businesses also getting hit. We're seeing bowling alleys that took a brunt of this damage, and this storm, it came in quick and left a lot of that damage behind. Park Lane's bowling alley, a staple in this community, did not escape the storm. Wednesday night's powerful winds tore into the back of the building. The owners say the inside is fine, and crews were on scene first thing Thursday morning making repairs. But the damage doesn't stop there. Trees fell on homes, power lines are down across the city. Amherst police and fire have been working through the night, clearing blocked roadways and assessing the damage, neighborhood by neighborhood. Thursday morning, the sound of chainsaws filled streets that were quiet just 24 hours ago. One of those neighbors, Stacy Corbin, says she had a front row seat to the whole thing.
It started with some heavy rain, and my bedroom's in the back, so I went to go look out back, and there was no visibility. I mean, it just looked like a hurricane coming through with the hail coming, and it just seemed relentless.
She says she couldn't even see her neighbor's house, which is only about 20 feet away.
You could just see the bands of the wind coming like a jet spray, you know?
Yeah.
So it was pretty intense, yeah.
And power is still out for most of the people here in Amherst. As we drove around today, traffic lights are dark. Fast food restaurants and gas stations still left in the dark. But thankfully, as you see right here, those power crews, they are hard at work. First Energy says that they estimate the power to be back on by 11 p.m. tonight. In Amherst, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
Okay, Brittany, thank you. 19 News with continuing coverage. Ahead, you'll hear from a Lorain mom who calls last night's storm the most devastating thing she's ever seen. A tree slammed into her pregnant daughter's room. We've got new body cam video just released today of a shooting you'll remember from the Flats last September that killed a 21-year-old.
Dan DeRosa has gone over the video, and Dan, really it's pretty rare that this type of situation really is all caught on camera.
Yeah, it's the speed at which the officers responded to. This was down in the Flats, and the reason that we have so much body cam video in the moments after is because the entertainment district detail was down there. That's as bars are closing. They have officers on ATVs. They have officers on foot. They ran in as soon as the shots were fired. It was two young men just outside of Punch Bowl Social who'd gotten into a fight with each other. They both pulled guns and they both shot at each other. Now, I'm going to warn you, the body cam, first part of the video you're going to see is pretty disturbing because you are going to see the first officers get to 21-year-old Zay Jackson. He did not survive this. The second half of the body cam video is the suspect running up to police because he had also been shot in the shoulder. Take a look.
Hey, get off her! Please! Y'all back up! You guys have to back up! Hey! Oh my God! Where's he shot at?
Stop! Oh, get down! Get down! Get down! 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 Where are you hit? Suspect, he's hit. Yep. Hey, suspect. Yep. Put your hands on your back. Hands on your back.
Again, that was the 24-year-old suspect being arrested. He was taken to the hospital and placed under arrest. We've asked for his name from the Cleveland Police Department. Has he been charged? We didn't get any response today. They said detectives are still trying to get us new information. We'll follow up when we do find out if that man was charged after he was shot.
All right, Dan, thank you. President Trump called off new military strikes on Iran hours after threatening to escalate the war. That came after the Pentagon released this video of the U.S. Navy launching Tomahawk cruise missiles at Iranian targets last night. They targeted key Iranian facilities, including ammunition depots and warehouses. And this comes days after the U.S. blamed an Iranian drone for downing an Apache helicopter near the Strait of Hormuz. And breaking, the Dow jumped 1,000 points after President Trump said today a peace deal with Iran is near. You can see here the Dow closing up nearly 2%. The NASDAQ was up 2.5%, and the S&P had its biggest gain in 2 months, rising 1.75%.
All right, so let's take a look at how this is impacting gas prices, and it takes a little longer for this impact to be seen on gas prices. Right now, the average around the country is 4.13. We're paying 2 cents more here in Ohio. Our average is 4.15. So with the help of Gas Buddy, we're looking for the best prices in our area. You can get gas for $3.77 a gallon at the Valero in Lorain on Colorado Avenue, $3.69 at the Get-Go in Cuyahoga Falls on State Road, and $3.99 in Paynesville at the BP on Richmond Street. All right, well, El Nino has arrived, and with it the potential to intensify, creating an even hotter climate and major shifts to weather patterns around the globe.
And this comes as severe weather again threatens much of the United States. Brian Abel now with what you need to know about all of this.
El Nino is here, says NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and it's expected to intensify into Super El Nino.
There's a 98% chance of El Nino conditions occurring later this season, and an 80% chance that this El Nino will be moderate to strong.
NOAA's new report forecasts the periodic tropical Pacific weather pattern to be one of the largest El Nino events in the historical record, going back to 1950. The global phenomenon has multi-season ramifications across continents, tilting the odds in favor of certain weather and climate extremes, heat waves, droughts, flooding, and more. This as severe weather once again threatens parts of the U.S., including areas just pummeled by hurricane-force winds and tornadoes, leaving little time for some people to catch their breath.
When you get these tornado warnings, they're not jokes.
It'll come in multiple rounds Thursday. First, the Midwest, then stretching further south into the plains. Some of the storms could become supercells, with the potential for EF3 or stronger tornadoes. Damaging wind gusts and flash flooding are also a concern in some areas where rainfall rates could reach 2 inches an hour at times. The systems in the central U.S. expected to largely end late Thursday night, with some storms possibly still active into Friday morning as they push toward the Appalachians. In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
Well, we have a couple of 19 recall alerts. First, we have sloosh dive sticks. Kids use these in swimming pools. Over 250,000 of these were sold, but they can pierce a child when the kids try and pick up the sticks underwater. They were sold on Amazon at Target and other stores. Contact the maker, Joyan, for information on destroying the product and getting a replacement. Next, we have Kitchen HQ brand thermal insulated bowls with detachable hinged lids. Metal springs in the lid can catch fire when used in the microwave. Bowls were sold in a variety of colors, have a metal interior and a plastic exterior with the words Kitchen HQ written across the front. Yeah, listen, how about just don't put any metal in the microwave? That would help too. These were sold on the Home Shopping Network. Contact HSN for a full refund.
Tickets for the 2026 Cleveland National Air Show are now on sale. It'll be back at Burke Lakefront Airport Labor Day weekend. This year, the Navy Blue Angels are back. Tickets right now are $45, but they go up to $51. If you wait until August 31st, you do have to buy tickets in advance. A gas leak forced crews to close Carnegie near Cleveland Clinic's main campus. Construction crews hit a line, the clinic says, out of an abundance of caution. The NI building, which is under construction, and the main cafeteria were temporarily evacuated. Traffic in that area was being rerouted near East 90th and Carnegie, but everything is now back open and there are no reported injuries.
Flashes of lightning lit up the night sky in Ashtabula County. This video is from Sam Brown. Now, it shows just how dangerous last night's storm was. Heavy, dark clouds hung over his neighborhood, that entire area, really. Kingsville is about 65 miles northeast of downtown. Straight ahead, we see even more damage from Lorain.
A false alarm triggered a hazmat response at the Pentagon this morning. We brought it to you live on 19 News at 11. Several floors were locked down for several hours. Hazmat crews were called in. Some floors were actually evacuated while others were told to shelter in place. But again, the all clear was later sounded.
Body camera video has just been released in connection with the deadly shooting from the flats last fall. You can see it's pretty much chaos there. Police trying to help a shooting victim. 21-year-old Zay Jackson was shot and killed outside Punch Bowl Social. This was last September. Another person was also shot but survived and was later named the suspect in the shooting. He was arrested at the hospital. Police are still investigating. 2026 FIFA World Cup is officially the most expensive World Cup tournament in history.
Many fans experiencing a bit of sticker shock.
Yeah, that's not good. Analysts say it's partly because the venues are increasingly catering to wealthy fans, offering up luxury boxes and other VIP experiences that generate far more profit than just the standard seats. Secondary ticket markets and resellers are also driving ticket prices up, but average fans can still find ways to get some seats to the big games.
Just got to be really on top of it and early. I hate to say it, but that typically is the best advice. You want to be buying directly from the seller. If you join a fan club, sometimes you get a little extra time, a little extra, heads up. And so that's another way to save a little bit.
All right, tickets for Team USA's opening match against Paraguay in LA tomorrow are still available directly through FIFA for about $1,100. Resale platforms are selling those tickets, and this usually doesn't happen for less, around $845.
Breaking at this hour, a plane crashed into a building in Minford. It's about 100 miles south of here. Scioto County Emergency Management Director tells CBS the plane crashed into a home, setting the house on fire. He said everyone inside the home made it out safely, and miraculously, no one in the plane died.
Also breaking, a tree falls on a man, killing him in Des Moines, Iowa. Happened at a homeless encampment. The victim is 54 years old. A tree broke apart and fell during strong storms that were passing through that area. Despite life-saving efforts, including CPR, the man died at the scene.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
All right, let's take a look at our cameras out here. 19 News First Alert Camera Network. We're once again watching for storms that may be rolling through our area.
Yeah, after last night's hit, boy, were those storms loud. A lot of lightning, a lot of thunder. We're asking, will tonight's storms be as severe? 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page joining us now.
All right, Cleveland's most accurate forecast here. So we do know it's warm and humid.
Yes, and that can act always as fuel for some of these showers and storms. The big question right now is how well do storms out to our west hold together as they make it into Northeast Ohio later tonight. So that is going to be kind of the contingent part, we'll say, of this forecast. And we just need to kind of see how data is going to continue to kind of support some of these storms as they cross over Indiana over the next few hours to really give us that much clearer picture. The main theme, though, even if we do get a few thunderstorms in our area, I do not think that we are talking the severity at all of what we saw last night. And I do think also we're going to see these storms weakening because by the time they arrive in our area, this should be past sunset. And so you're starting to lose a little bit of that fuel to keep some of those showers and storms going. In the short term, it's warm, it's a little humid out there. It feels like summer in Northeast Ohio, but we are going to bring some big changes to the forecast here as we step a little bit closer to the weekend. Some of these high level clouds out there right now, just basically an indication that our weather pattern still a little unsettled, but all that rain is well down to our southwest and again, or southeast, I should say. We've got a lot of clear sky here, basically between here and northwest Indiana, and that's where that line of showers and thunderstorms is currently. So in the short term, things are going to stay quiet. Yes, a little bit on the humid side. I'll walk you through the new data tracking those storms into our area tonight, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, hey, don't forget, our complete First Alert forecast is always available. You can watch for our free 19 News Plus app.
Nearly 8 years after 21-year-old Caitlin Shepard's body was found burned inside her truck, her mom says the accident ruling doesn't add up. And now a crash expert is taking a closer look. We have new documents, new pictures, and new questions.
Quiet Huron County Road, a sudden turn and a fire so intense, Caitlin Shepard was burned beyond recognition inside her own truck.
the whole situation makes no sense.
July 2018, Caitlin had just turned 21, an Erie County corrections officer working on becoming a police officer, and in an instant, she was gone. Her pickup went off Town Line Road down an embankment and burned. No witnesses. A passerby reported it, never realizing Caitlin was inside.
I feel that she's here, like she's trying to give us a sign.
Trisha, Caitlin's mom, keeps coming back to the scene. She says the official story has never added up. Ohio State Highway Patrol and Huron County sheriffs investigated. Highway Patrol closed their case, ruling it an accident. But do records and pictures 19 News just obtained tell a different story? Troopers wrote they couldn't explain what caused the truck to leave the road. They couldn't explain what started the fire. No skid marks, no sign of braking, no visible crash damage, just a truck destroyed by fire. Trisha says there's more. Caitlin's purse was left at home. Her burned cell phone was found in the bed of her truck, not the cab. Toxicology, negative for drugs and alcohol. The coroner ruled Caitlin's death an accident from burns. Documents show investigators looked into Caitlin's boyfriend in the days after the crash. OSHP reports from 2018 identify him as a suspect. Caitlin's family told police the relationship was rocky. He was controlling. They tried to get Caitlin to leave. Caitlin's co-workers told detectives the relationship was stressed. The suspect was very controlling, and they thought the relationship had ended. Investigators got warrants for his home and phone. On that phone, a photo, a suspicious stain on a stair landing. When investigators went back for a second look, the carpet was gone. He said he pulled it out to prep the home for a sale. The investigators' conclusion? No evidence of violence was found. We're not naming Caitlin's boyfriend because he has never been charged with a crime. We reached out to him for a comment. His attorney sent us this statement, saying in part, "My client categorically denies any involvement in the tragic death of Caitlin Shepard." It goes on to say, while he understands the continued public interest in this matter, he will not engage in speculation or further commentary. And while Highway Patrol closed the case and ruled an accident, the Huron County Sheriff tells 19 News their investigation is still active and open.
Maybe it's going to take more of an expert person to look into this.
Trisha has pushed for years for Huron County to bring in Ohio's BCI, fresh eyes. And just recently, Highway Patrol and Huron County officials met with Trisha to go over the case again.
I think it was staged. I think this whole accident was staged.
If the crash was staged, how would you know? We asked Eric Brown, a crash reconstruction expert, to look into Caitlin's crash.
Reconstruction is the search for why crashes happen.
The Marine veteran has investigated more than 3,000 crashes nationwide. He trains officers across Ohio and advises the Ohio Attorney General as an expert on crash investigations.
Would it be odd to you if there was not a lot of front-end damage?
It would.
We took him to the exact spot on Town Line Road. Using Highway Patrol measurements and diagrams from the original investigation, he sent up a drone to recreate the crash.
We can animate it, and that way we can watch it happen.
And before the model is even finished, Brown points to one thing he says really stands out.
She made almost a 90-degree turn out of this lane, but the back end of her truck didn't break free and leave any tire marks on the road. That's odd.
That's odd.
Was Caitlin's crash an accident? Or was it made to look like one?
Tonight at 6, we'll see Eric's crash reconstruction. He reveals what he thinks happened. And you can read the boyfriend's entire statement in our story on Cleveland19.com. And again, we want to emphasize, he has never been charged with a crime in connection to this case. The Huron County Sheriff did not want to talk on camera because he says this is an ongoing investigation.
And 19 Investigates is working hard on other stories too, so you're going to want to watch our show, 19 Investigates. It streams every Thursday night at 6:30 on 19 News Plus. Tonight, how federal staffing cuts are delaying medical care for 9/11 survivors still battling health issues. And a World Cup warning. The scams FIFA fans need to watch out for as soccer's biggest tournament begins. Those stories, much more on 19 Investigates, streaming tonight at 6:30.